Hey, what's up guys? Combat Critic here. In this video, I want to give my pick for this upcoming fight between Ariane Lipski and Melissa Gatto. So let's get started. If we look at the records of these two fighters, starting with Lipski, she has 23 fights and she's won 15 of those 23 fights and lost just 8. If we talk about her 15 wins, she's won 6 via knockout, 3 via submission and another 6 via decision. If we talk about her 8 losses, she has been knocked out 4 times and she has also lost 4 times via decision. Now let's talk about Melissa. So she has 11 fights and she's won 8, lost just once. If we talk about her 8 wins, she has won twice via knockout, 4 times via submission and 2 times via decision. This is opposite of Ariane. Ariane is a better knockout artist than a submission fighter, whereas if we look at Melissa, she has more submissions than knockouts. So these two fighters, I think Ariane is the better striker looking at just her record. And if we talk about Melissa, I think she is a better grappler, but we'll see those stats in a minute. If we talk about the one loss that Melissa has, she has lost once via decision and she also has 2 draws on her record. Now let's take a look at the physical and career stats of these two fighters, starting with Melissa. So height is 5 feet 5 for Melissa and it is 5'6" for Lipski. So Ariane Lipski will have a 1 inch height advantage. I don't think this is significant at all. Weight is even at 125 pounds for both these fighters. If we talk about the reach, it is 67 inches for Lipski and 69 inches for Gatto. So Gatto will have a 2-inch reach advantage. If we talk about the stance, it is orthodox for both these fighters. Talking about the age, so Lipski is the older fighter. She is about to reach 30, I believe, whereas Gatto is younger by about 2 years. Now let's take a look at the career stats, starting with the striking numbers. First up, we have the strikes landed per minute. So this signifies the number of significant strikes that you land on your opponent per minute. This is 3.86 for Lipski and it is 3.27 for Gatto. So in this case, the advantage goes to Lipski. She is landing a little bit more strikes on her opponents per minute. Striking accuracy is just 39% for Lipski and it is 51% for Gatto. So here the advantage goes to Gatto. She is more accurate with her strikes. Next up, we have the strikes absorbed per minute. This signifies the number of significant strikes that you absorb from your opponent per minute on average. This is 3.97 for Lipski and it is 2.6 for Gatto. So in this case, you want this number to be as low as possible because you are getting hit less. So here the advantage goes to Gatto again. Striking defense is 51% for Lipski and it is 53% for Gatto. So both these fighters are pretty even, but a very slight advantage goes to Gatto. Now let's talk about the wrestling, grappling and BJJ stats. Starting with the takedown average, it is 0.47 for Lipski and 1.68 for Gatto. So a huge advantage here goes to Gatto. Takedown accuracy is 42% for Lipski and 33% for Gatto. So in this case, the advantage goes to Lipski. She is more accurate with her takedowns. Takedown defense is 73% for Lipski, which is really good, and it is 70%, pretty close for Gatto. So both these fighters are again very even, but a very slight advantage goes to Lipski here. Submission average is 0.3 for Lipski and it is 0.4 for Gatto. So again, these two fighters are very even, but here a slight advantage goes to Gatto. Overall, I believe that looking at the stats, Gatto has a slight advantage in the striking department and her takedown average is significantly higher than Lipski. However, if you look at the takedown defense, both these fighters, Lipski has a takedown defense of 73%, whereas it is 70% for Gatto. So she is not very lagging. It's almost neck and neck between these two fighters. I think overall, looking at these stats, a slight advantage can be given to Gatto. Now let's talk about the significant strikes by position, starting with Lipski. So 80% of all the strikes that she throws are in the standing position, 14% in the clinch, and just 6% on the ground. If we talk about Gatto, so 88% are from the standing position, 7% in the clinch and 5% on the ground. Again, very similar between these two fighters. Lipski lands a little bit more in the clinch. Now let's take a look at the significant strikes by target. So 48% of all the strikes that Lipski throws are to the head and 40% to the body, 12% to the leg. If we talk about Gatto, so 67% are to the head, 15% to the body and 19% to the leg. So Lipski throws a lot more body shots than Gatto. I think in the clinch, we have seen that she throws a lot more in the clinch. I think this goes well with the body shots in the clinch position. Now let's take a look at the previous performances of these two fighters, starting with Lipski. So in her last fight, she beat JJ Aldrich via unanimous decision. This fight happened in March of this year. So she is not taking a lot of time off. She is coming back around 4 months after her previous fight. This was a 3-round fight. And if we talk about the fight before that, she lost to Priscilla via TKO in the very first round. This fight happened in August of last year. Before that, she beat Mandy Bohm via unanimous decision in September of 2021. This was a 3-round fight. And before that, she lost to Montella De La Rosa via TKO in the second round and Antonina Shevchenko via TKO also in the second round. Before that, she beat Luana Carolina via submission knee bar in the first round. And before that, she beat Isabella via unanimous decision. And before that, she lost to Molly via unanimous decision in a 3-round fight. So overall, her UFC record is pretty much 1-1. She's won 50% of the fights. She's lost 50% of the fights. However, keep in mind that she has been in the UFC for a long time and a lot longer than Melissa. Now let's take a look at Melissa's record. So in her last fight, she lost to Tracy Cortez via unanimous decision. She was undefeated going in this fight, and this was a 3-round fight. Before that, she beat Sijara Eubanks via TKO in the third round, and she beat Victoria Leonardo via TKO. In the second round, she beat Carol Rosa via submission Kimura in the first round. So she has just 3 fights in the UFC. So significantly lesser UFC experience for Melissa Gatto compared to Ariane Lipski. And for this reason, if I have to pick a winner of this fight, I think I'll go with Ariane Lipski. I believe she has more UFC experience and that will come in handy in this fight. We've seen the stats, and in those stats, in the striking and grappling department, Melissa is ahead, but those stats are just based off of 3 fights that she's had in the UFC. I believe the experience of Lipski will be the determining factor in this fight, and I'm picking her to win this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.